And notice a light at the end of the tunnel. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1,320 of What You Up To Now. Documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business, over a quarter century in corporate America, 48 years, I guess I have to start saying 48 years in different businesses and different industries, as owner and operator in some, just owner in others, but different industries. Before I came to the online world in 2017, been in the online world, came on in 2017 following my divorce and some other business. You know, after you get a divorce, you have to separate all the businesses that you've done together and things, and it gets to be kind of a mess. And I decided I didn't want to do the things that I'd been doing with my ex-husband. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to have a clean break, do something different, do something that made my heart sing, something I was always curious about and interested in. So I started to explore the online world. I joined the ClickFunnels certification group in, I think, February of 2017. Spent a couple of months learning that and learning how to create funnels, make sales funnels and things, and about funnels, because I wanted a structured way to learn about how to do things online. Well, fortunately, that led me down a whole lot of rabbit holes, thinking I needed to learn and do and study all these crazy things that I, of course, didn't, based on what it is that I wanted to do and create online. But that's one of the big pitfalls of online business, is doing things that you don't really need to do because other people tell you that they're important. And that's why it's so important to determine and decide who we're going to listen to. So how do you notice the light at the end of the tunnel? How do you know when you're on your right track, on your right road, and you're making progress? That was the subject of Supersize Your Business. I have a group of business owners that I work with, and we have a group and a page called Supersize Your Business. And every day, I started it a couple of years ago when I was moving. I wanted some way to stay in touch with that group, but do something actually kind of fun and creative along the way. And I discovered a book called, I can't remember what it was called, 600 Plus Idioms or something. And I started paging through that, and I'm like, okay, well, my kids had never touched the book. I must have gotten it from in middle school or something, and they're like, it was a scholastic book. But it had a bunch of different idioms, all different type of idioms, the 600, some of the most popular ones that we use in English today. And I started just randomly picking one, and then I'd look at that idiom, what does it mean, where does it come from, and I would tie it to business and how you can use it to grow and think about your business from maybe a slightly different perspective, or how that expression might be impacting you based on your past experience, or the people that you're interacting with and working with as you're growing your business, and how you might then be able to use that to grow your business. And about a little ways into it, I thought I'd do it for a little while, just while I was moving. Well, moving, of course, and rehabbing the house took longer than I thought it was going to. So I ended up almost to the end of that book, and I decided that I was going to challenge myself to do every single idiom in the book. And I got to tell you, some of the idioms and some of the expressions we use in the English language are a stretch to tie to business and have any meaning to business. I think there's actually been a couple where I've said, I don't know how this ties to business. You share in the comments below if you can come up with a way that this ties to business, because I'm at a loss for figuring this out. I think there's been a couple of those. But then once the book ran out and I ran out of idioms, I started to look for other sources of idioms. I found I was going through a dictionary for a while of 20,000, it wasn't even 20,000 words, I don't remember what it was, but it was online. I was going through this dictionary and sorting through to find the idioms and the expressions, and it was a little cumbersome, and it wasn't that fun anymore as it had been with the book. So then I started doing, a couple times I do like different themes for idioms, like what are the top 50 business idioms, what are, last month, to go along with the Get Up and Go challenge, I did what are idioms that have to do with changes and challenges. So I've covered a couple more than once, but we're well over 1,000 idioms now. And why do I do it? I guess I should talk about that again, because I haven't talked about it for a while on the Supersize Your Business group, because people coming in might be like, what is this? Why are you doing this? And I've realized that my brain and everybody else's brain don't work the exact same way. Newsflash, I know, it's the ego thing where we think everybody thinks the same way we do. We think everybody does. We think everybody's had the same experiences that we have. But they absolutely haven't. We have to remind ourselves sometime on a conscious level that everybody on the planet, including our siblings, our parents, our children, we've all had different sets of experiences. Different things impact us different ways. So things mean things differently to all of us. Just a single word means something different to many of us. So what the heck happens when you put together a group of words that don't even mean what the words separately mean. Could be confusing. So I think it's kind of like doing improv, which I've never done. I'm not funny, I don't think. I don't really have comedic timing at all. So this is kind of my version of somebody hands you a slip of paper and you need to figure this out and tie it to business and share what it means. And so every day I just have an idiom. I pick it, I share it. I think I've done a couple ahead for, I'm looking at my idiom book. I've got like 5 or 6 ahead. I don't always do that, but sometimes I find it easier, especially when I'm busy, to pick the idiom out, and then every night I just research and figure out, okay, well, what does it mean? Where did it come from? And then how does this apply to business, growing your business? And for me, it's gotten to be fun. I think it's been pretty helpful to a lot of people, because the overall objective is to remind us that we decide what everything means. It's important that we know what things mean to us and where we're going, and to remind us that just because it means one thing to us doesn't mean it means the same thing to someone else. We all are subject to interpretation. Everything's subject to interpretation. We get to decide what everything means. So today was how to see the light at the end of the tunnel. That was a really long way to get to it. And this was my tunnel. It's just a little light I got at Uline that I like. It sits by my bed, and I almost forgot about it because I only use it when the power goes out. But it's not a great light source. It's just a little light to find the phone and, you know, my water, things like that by the bed. So how do you do that? I shared 15 different ways that you can look for, notice, pay attention to, see the light at the end of the tunnel. Whatever works for you. You know, listen for that train. Is that a train coming? Or is that really the break in the skyline and the hope that I'm looking for with respect to the light at the end of the tunnel? So I would say go to the Supersize Your Business page. I definitely went too long on that. And you can see those 15 things versus me repeating them here. But how do you see the light at the end of the tunnel? How do you maintain hope and a positive outlook for your future when things are going kind of bad? I mean, COVID-19 hit a lot of people like a ton of bricks. And how did you, and how do you continue to, given all the craziness that's always going on in all of our lives, how do you keep moving forward? What's your favorite way to stay hopeful, stay optimistic, stay positive, stay moving toward the things that you want, not get bogged down in the stuff that's going on around you? I'd love to know that. Our annual challenge this year, to do one thing every day that centers us, all about you, I call it, because it's about getting to know ourselves better, was about lending a hand, which it was about looking at different directions, looking up instead of down, looking forward instead of back, looking out instead of in, and then lending a hand, helping other people. So yesterday we talked about where we look. Today we were talking about and sharing how we lend a hand today. Now, I don't lend a hand to anybody today. I've made myself coffee. That lent myself a little energy boost, but I haven't really interacted with anybody else yet today. So when I do, I promise I will lend a hand to someone. So what are you doing today to make the world a better place? Is that too big a challenge for people? What are you doing to positively impact, lend a hand, help people outside of you? I like to ask myself that every day. I found a cool thing the other day about emotionally intelligent questions that we should ask ourselves every day, and I haven't shared it yet. I'm going to share it in one of the upcoming Supersize Your Business things, because I think one of the things that leaders need to be is emotionally intelligent. They also need to think for themselves, but they have to also remember that we are all emotional beings having a human experience, right? We are our feelings first and our emotions first, and then we think and act and respond. And our emotions are triggered a whole lot faster than our brain is. And so that can get us into trouble if we aren't behaving in emotionally intelligent ways and kind of figuring out ways to rein ourselves in sometimes. So we'll talk about that in a couple of days as well. Working on some other projects. Again, next Get Up and Go challenge will be October. I'll work on that. It's already Friday, so I'll probably work on that this weekend a little bit and decide, okay, what do I want to do this time? I want to do something. I always like to do a little bit more, a little bit something different, and decide how I want to present that. But I think it's a great way for people to adopt a purposeful change mechanism that they can install in their subconscious so that they automatically make the best choices and decisions for themselves whenever they're faced with a change or challenge. And guess what? We're all faced with changes and challenges every single day. So if we can have an automatic process that guarantees we're going to get the best results for us, who doesn't want that? I sure want that. That's what I started doing the beginning of COVID-19, and I will do it through The rest of this year, we'll do it 2 more times. We'll do it in October for 30 plus days, and then we'll do it in December for 30 plus days. And people are like, how am I supposed to do a 30-day challenge in December or October, getting ready for the holidays? Depends what's important to you. If making your life easier and better and more automatic in ways that really matter and will positively impact your life is important to you, you'll make 10 minutes a day for 30 days to figure it out and learn it and practice it and figure out how you can apply it to your life. Now, I did just join in with a group that is now examining 12 different areas and aspects of your life. I went from 7, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution, which are the 7 I've used for like the last 30, 40 years. And I want to say it's almost 40 years. But this year, since I was interested in continually improving and growing, I added 2 areas of coaching and things to my life that I'm getting help in, and that is communication and confidence. And those are, to me, foundational things. They're like, I always thought and think of our physical health and our health as foundational. If we don't pay attention to our physical health, it will make us pay attention to it at some point. There's very few people that get through life totally healthy and 100%, perfect health, and then just die in their sleep of old age. It's definitely the minority of people. So if we don't pay attention to our health, it will get our attention. If we don't pay attention to any area or aspect of our life, it will get our attention. And so I added communication and confidence this year because I think that those are basic foundational things, just like health, and in order to have good, and they impact every area and aspect of our life, right? Our confidence and our communication and our physical energy impacts and our ability to do anything. So I added those 2 this year. But then I just got involved with a group of coaches and coaching. An awesome coach lady I've known since 2017, and love her. She's got a group of over 100,000 women that she works with in different capacities, and this is her, I guess this would be her core group. And she does a journaling thing a day. Now, journaling for me, I'm not going to lie, is challenging with respect to my vision. I have vision challenges now, and I guess I've had them since my 20s, but they're really challenges now. They were challenges before, but now they're super duper challenges. But whatever we're faced with, we figure it out, and we find ways to rise above those challenges and meet those challenges. And so mine is vision. So journaling isn't as fun as it used to be, but for the purposes of this program, I will journal every day because that's the commitment. And I can write every day. I'm not going to do a video log of it because it's super personal, deep stuff that we're dealing with respect to our lives and getting to know ourselves better. And since it's in alignment with my annual centering challenge, I thought it was a great program to participate in until the end of the year. And I can still do that. I can fit it into my schedule. I already fit it into my schedule. I can just do it right before bed, before I do my other thing that's my secret for next year's annual challenge that I'm practicing between now and the end of the year to see how I like that and the impact that it has, and if I want to do that as my subject or not, and then how I'll go about presenting and doing that next year. I'm practicing till the end of the year. So I added those 2 things to everything else. Since my granddaughter went back to school and I miss her so much, I had the time and the energy to put in different things that I'm interested in that I can use and learn from and then share with you. All right, that is all I've got today. Any questions? Need help with anything? Please ask. Don't be that person that's just stuck and frozen and paralyzed, telling yourself, I don't know what to do. I've been there. It's a really miserable place to be. And the longer you're there, the more comfortable you get with it and the more you believe it yourself. But we always can take that next step. There's always a next step for each and every one of us. We just have to be willing to see what it is. And sometimes it takes asking another person in order to realize what that next step is. I might not know the answer exactly for you, but I guarantee I can help you get that next step moving so you're not frozen or procrastinating or stuck in one spot. All right, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.